Alright, welcome to another Shinobi collection video. And Kaguya is here. I don't remember if we got a Kaguya during New Year's last year, but usually during January, we get a brand new Kaguya. I think the last one that I remember was B3 Kaguya. I think that was the black one. That was a retrained of the original Kaguya. And that was pretty broken, and we got a new Kaguya coming in, and let's see how she is. So the Naruto and Sasuke banner just left. So if you didn't pull them, I'm sorry for your loss, because they are one of the best units in this game. And let's just say this Kaguya is the opposite of that. So we're gonna get 50 free stones from the retweet event. We'll get this on the 31st, and on login today we should be getting 50 gems. And then tomorrow I believe we are getting 77 from the retweet. So save those gems in my opinion, just because this Kaguya is not worth it. So this is the banner. She is out now. So if you want to summon her, you can. First multi is 40 gems. And if you're a big whale, you can buy a new pack that came out. That's $100. It comes with 181 gems like normal, and a ticket that has one character in it, and that character is Kaguya. So if you don't want to spend your precious stones, but you want Kaguya, you can just easily buy that bundle. Get yourself a Kaguya for free. And there's also another bundle that's the exact same price. It comes with a ticket. I believe Kaguya is 10% in that ticket, but it comes with a guaranteed Kaguya dupe stone. I think you can buy it 3 times. So for the low price of $400, you can get yourself an LP3 Kaguya, and don't do it. So, and this is the free banner that we're just continuing. It ends in 6 days. These characters are not worth it, but the best thing about these free banners is there's 90 costs in there. So if you can get a 90 cost, even a dupe to increase their LP for 3v3, that's perfect. And this is just saying the ramen stuff, we already got those. PvP comes back in 3 days. I think I will be buying that Kaguya bundle, just so I can use her in this PvP. Just because I'm bored. And then after that, after PvP ends, Summit Jiraiya comes back. But this time, he is gonna come back with his handprint. So this handprint, in my opinion, is very, very important, because this is the red handprint. So handprints give, let's actually go look at that. We got the DB over here. So let's just go look at the gear database. And handprint is over here. I already have it typed in. So this is the yellow handprint. Well, you can't see because, well, most of you probably won't understand what this says, but this is a handprint, and this Summit handprints works based on types. I have this as undefined, but they are their very own. They're the unique type. So the Mochi, I believe is Mochi. The New Year ones, I think they're the same type as that. So these most likely won't conflict with your gear setup already. This will just add to it. So what these handprints do, in my opinion, and why the Summit characters, the best part about Summit characters is not really the Summit unit themselves, but it's the handprint. They're annoying to farm because you need to beat the 6-star level, and the 5-star level, some of them takes a long time, especially if you don't have the right team for it. And the best thing you can do for that is, I think as of right now, is multi-hitter. But there's other ways to go for it. But for this one, so let's go over what handprint does. This is the yellow handprint that you get from Orochimaru. So at the moment, we only have 2 handprints. We have the blue one from Tsunade and the yellow one from Orochimaru. So this one is for yellow units. At the start of battle, you gain 50% chakra. That's okay. Speed and skill damage plus 100%. That's amazing. And then HP and chakra regen plus 50%, which is also amazing. Just because they changed the way regen works. Regen used to be based on base maximum HP. But now it's fight maximum HP. So if you have 20 million, you'll be recovering for 10 million HP per turn. And that's gonna come into handy because we have a lot of characters now that are setting your HP to 1. So 6-star Jiraiya. The best way to fight Jiraiya, at least back when he first came out, was, I believe, Enbu, Itachi, and Nagato. Just because multicaster didn't exist back then. But now, it's probably just going to be multicaster. You're probably going to clear that fight faster than the poison ticks. And this is Kaguya. I have the infographic for Kaguya already, so go over that. From what you can see here, there's not a lot of things written because that's true. This Kaguya does not do much. So, let's go over what she does. Kaguya Otsutsuki. Revival of the Conqueror. Let's look at her S1 by moving this. Deal 3% plus 2.2 million damage to all enemies. Inflict disable positive special and God state effect. Deal 9 additional attacks, dealing 3% plus 600,000. So it's not a mixed damage, which is okay. Because fixed damage is a little bit weaker now, in my opinion. And then high chance to ignore resistance and inflicts the Ash killing Ash Bone God state. That's the negative part about this. It's a God state. This effect is maybe too strong to be a unique state. But the fact that it's a God state is kind of hurting her a lot. Because most of her mechanics literally deals with this. And if you ignore this part, all she does is 10 hits. So like 10 hits is probably a little bit above average, but not good enough to be great. Especially since multicaster with unique state exists. Those characters are the DPS that you want. And then her skill 2. Deal 2.2 million fixed damage to all enemies. Click skips. Grant the Demon Eye special state. And then remove the negative special and God state to all enemies. So that's just one hit, but with max LP, that's going to turn into 5 hits. And same thing with this one. This is 10 hits. With max LP, it turns into 14. And you can see the damage there. 7 million base. The thing about her is that, which is very nice, is that her additional attacks are not conditional. So in my opinion, she's better than Hashirama. Just because of that. Damage-wise, she's going to be on par with Hashirama. She's probably worse than Minato. Because Minato, I believe, has 10 base already. Let me look at Minato real quick. It's actually weird. I have to move this around. So let's look at Minato. I just want to look at Minato real quick. Minato has 10 additional attacks plus an additional 10. And Kaguya has 9 with 1 extra hit, so that gives her 10. Minato has 11 or 21, then 25 if you have him max LP. So Minato hits a lot more. So I think if you look at it that way, where you don't even consider her state, with just about raw damage numbers, Minato comes out on top. And then her lead. Her lead is none, cast speed plus 3, speed plus 200%, high chance to grant an extra turn. This is okay because most people have built-in insta-kill immunity nowadays, and giving none an extra turn is kind of not needed just because of Kizuna Madara's state. So that's okay, not that special, but you probably want someone else for this. And then ability 1, the Rabbit Goddess, grant Demon Eye special state at the start of battle and when attacked. That's never gonna happen. High chance, well, you're gonna have it in the beginning, but then you're just gonna remove that easily. And we have abilities that penetrates attack. Because if you don't remember Demon Eye, I'll talk about it. I don't even have to talk about it later. Demon Eye, all that gives is skill immunity. And Demon Eye was originally GKV2 Kaguya state. So high chance to grant first strike, extra turn terrain immunity, and enemy formation immunity. It's just all of the good stuff that you want. There's nothing wrong with it. High chance to grant instant action when attack. So she has her manipulation on lockdown. But the thing with non-team is, you don't care about these because Kizuna Madara already gives your entire team instant action every time you act. So all of these stuff not necessary at all, which is kind of awkward, but whatever. High chance to grant speed plus 999% for 1 turn at the start of battle and 1 attack. That's awful. The reason why that's bad is because people have it built into their kit. Sasuke, where is it over here? Plus 1000% speed. Naruto, plus 1000% speed. Madara, plus 200% speed. Plus his state gives him plus 1000%. Pretty sure Obito has plus 200% too, but it has a built-in plus 1000%. And then you're fine. But then if we look at the recent gods in none, it's kind of weird. You can't see nothing right now, but that's fine. If we look at Hashirama, for chance plus 1000%. He's not really that fast, so that's fine. I believe it's Madara who also has, Madara has plus 1000% speed. Do you also have plus 1,000? Yeah, plus 1,000% speed. And all of those plus 1,000% speeds are permanent. Kaguya isn't. Kaguya is only for one turn at the start of battle or when she gets attacked. So that sucks. And if you've been playing PvP lately, the last PvP that we got, enemies don't attack. All they do is basic attack. So she's not even going to be priority target because the priority target is going to be your Kizunas or your Enbus who have lower HP than her. So why did they do this? I don't know. It's useless, but there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know why they don't like Kaguya for some reason. She used to be the best character in the game every time she comes out. Now we have back-to-back Kaguyas. That's just disappointing. And the first one was Enbu Kaguya. Enbu Kaguya was garbage. Now this character is looking like I do nothing except for 10 additional attacks. Whatever. Ability 2. Insanity from Chakra Monopoly. High chance to ignore resistance and inflict. Killing Ash Bones God State. That might work only if... How do I word this? That might work. The reason why I want to get this character actually is because of this. So the way PvP works right now is there's a high chance that states don't stick. Just because of Kizuna Madara. Kizuna Madara, if you're fighting a mirror matchup, he stalls out the game where the end of reality state that's giving you immunity to all of these stuff, that expires most of the time if you're fighting a mirror matchup. But the reason why I don't find this state that much interesting, well, I guess I'll talk about that when we talk about the God state. So let's just move on actually. And destroy enemy terrain when attack. There's better ways to destroy terrain, but I guess having it is okay. That just means you need to take an AoE attack. That's probably not going to happen. Revive plus 5, that's the normal for gods and GK now. Insta-kill immunity, that's also the normal. Remove debuff, status effect, negative, special, and god state to self when attacked. That's one thing I like about this character is this. So this ability 2 is most likely going to be the reason why this character might go from what I believe to be a meh unit to someone that's actually OP. And when we talk about the god state, I'll go talk more about that. Ability 3, she's a red unit, so yellow type specialization and crush. I believe she is a red, right? Yeah, she's red. So that's also why this is really nice, because now you can actually farm this. And what I said earlier before, the reason why the red one is really nice, Madara's red. So Madara is the best character in the game, so now if you can farm 2 of these, you can give one to Madara and then give one to Kaguya. And before we talk about her role, let's talk about her gears. And then we go over to the states. Eternal Hatred, skill damage plus 150%, cast speed plus 2. So, I don't know if you've noticed lately, but most gears are like this. You get a cast speed plus 150% in one, and then cast speed plus 2 in the other, and in the same effect. And then the other gear is HP, attack, defense, and speed plus 150%. So that's pretty much the norm now. Every new gears are that. Plus, they bring something unique. So for Kaguya, it's speed plus 300% when she gets there. And then for her Sea of Acid, this one is a chakra gear. So chakra cost is set to 0 and skill immunity for 2 turns. This is the weird part about this. Why do you need skill immunity for 2 turns if you start with Demon Eye? If you look over here, Demon Eye is just straight up skill immunity. So her god state, Ash killing Ash Bones. The reason why, my opinion, this might work is just because of how like stalling the game is with the Kizuna Madara mirror. So the end of reality will expire, and when that happens, you either insta kill them with your S1 because your S1 is gonna do a lot of damage because it does 10 additional attacks, or the enemy will attack you first, and you're gonna inflict the Ash killing Ash Bones to them, which is, if you remember the meta back then of Shisui, this is Frenzy. Well, not Frenzy, this is more Befuddled than Frenzy. Just because Frenzy actually spreads, but Befuddled doesn't. So what this does is, you buff the enemy's attack, crit damage, and crit chance by 5,000%. And then their basic attack, a random ally with a chance to insta-kill. Chance to insta-kill don't matter. If an ally is defeated, insta-kill self. So like I don't believe they have to be the one that kills their allies, but it doesn't matter anyway because most of the OP units which are pretty much Kizuna Madara and Kizuna Sasuke, are insta-kill immune. Set HP to 1 when this state is removed, that's okay. Grant enemy Kaguya cut in per turn, that's probably the best part about this ability. So, why do I think this ability might work? Let's say you're doing a Kizuna Madara mirror, which you will most likely will. You both get inflicted by pale violence. It's kind of weird on when that happens, just because if you start with Madara, you want to switch back. Like it's weird. You have to experience it to figure out how to fight it. Every fight's not the same. But let's just say we're doing Kizuna Madara mirror, and the reality expire, and you can't rotate to Obito, because that's the scenario most likely is, unless your Madara is Rainbow, and Rainbow Madara I barely see any of them, because most people spent their materials on Kakashi or Kid Naruto. So Rainbow Madara is probably the only one that defies this, but let's just pretend that's not gonna happen, because I don't think it will. And the reality expires. So now the enemies can be inflicted by Special and God State. You hit their S1, you hit your S1 with Kaguya, you kill them. Great. But what if the enemy acts first? So the enemy attacks you, and then they get inflicted by Ash killing Ash Bones. There's two scenarios where this is a problem. First, is they're gonna most likely get inflicted by pale violence, right? So most of these stuff don't matter. But if you have Kaguya max LP, that's 14 additional attacks. Or like 14 hits. That's a lot of damage. 14 hits is a lot. I believe GK Madara is about 26 if you have him max LP. But adding in 14 is actually really nice, especially if you can run something like Enbu, GK Madara, Kaguya, Kizuna Madara, and then Kizuna Naruto. If you run something like that, you just increase your DPS by a lot. Because the hard part about team building right now is that last unit. Just because you want Madara, Naruto, and Enbu, and GK Madara. So that last unit ends up being either a random zero cost Kizuna or something like Kaguya, because there's nothing better. So now you're going to put someone in there who does a lot of damage. And she cuts in every time they act. So that's probably going to be something that's very useful. She's just going to be... This cut in is more like a fake multicast. So that could end up being useful at the end of the day. But all of these other parts, like basic attacking random allies, we don't care about those. That could just pretty much says this character is stunned. Set HP to 1 when the state is removed. That's okay, but I don't know how really good that is, because we already have that type of effect in Kizuna Madara Kizuna skills, and what's his name, Blue Madara, and to be honest, I don't notice it, so we're probably not gonna notice that either. So yeah, I think this effect is weird. At the start of battle, which is pretty much the most important part of the fight, you're not gonna notice that, because you're only gonna inflict the Ash killing Ash Bones like past 20 turns. In the beginning, when that's not important, you're not gonna hit it. So she's kind of that late game unit where her early game is okay. Her early game is 7 million damage if you have her LP 0. 7 million is decent, I guess. Let me see, actually. I should have these up. I want to see how much damage. So this is Naruto. Naruto is doing... Yeah, Naruto is 18 million damage. So 7 million from her is probably less than Sasuke. Sasuke is 9.1. Kizuna Madara is not really a DPS, so her should be tied to that or less. So she'll be doing more damage than Kizuna Madara and Obito, which is okay. But she's a DPS, so we have to judge her based on DPS, sadly. And the DPS that she has to fight is Kizuna Madara. I don't have Kizuna Madara, but Kizuna Madara is... It totals 26 attacks. So remember I calculated that before. 26 attacks is a little more than Kaguya. And then Kid Naruto is the other one that she's probably going to fight. But I don't have Kizuna Naruto set up here. So this Kaguya, it's hard to say. I gave her a 90 just because she has 10 hits. 14 at max LP. That's if I put Minato there, and if I put the new Hashirama there, which I'm probably gonna drop. Probably gonna drop Hashirama down to A+. I might put her in bottom of S or the highest of A+. And the reason why I want to spend that $100 just to get one copy of her, because I really want to test her out. What happened? Like, how strong is she past 20 turns? Because I already know how strong she is in the early games, and in the early games she might not even shine. The early games, Izuna Sasuke will either one shot turn 1, switch to Naruto. Naruto will be doing like 26 hits, and then GK Madara is also doing like 15 hits to 26 hits. It's weird, but GK Madara is also gonna give her 2 additional attacks, so that 7 million might reach. Yeah, she's gonna reach 10 million damage, so that's probably very useful. I think she fits in. I think this team up here might be the best team in the game, just because of like these 4. These 4 are most likely gonna carry the hell out of this Kaguya. But Kaguya might be the best 5th slot in the game. I can't think of another character that's good in there, unless it's someone like Kizuna Kakashi, and you save Kakashi's state when Madara's expires. It's weird. But yeah, I don't know how to place her. Her kit make it sound like she's not doing anything, but I think she will be. And I think she just needs testing. That's all she needs. She's one of those characters that are. I think the last character that I thought this way was Sage Naruto. His kit looks garbage on paper, but when I used him, it was broken. So I'm hoping Kaguya is like that. But that's the problem. I need to get her. And I guess Greed did something great by making her guaranteed, but I'll probably do the first multi at 40 gems. If I don't get her there, then I'll probably get her before PvP starts. And yeah, expect a showcase on her when that arrives. So with that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.